Good morning. Let's start the discussion on current affairs. The first topic that we'll take today is regarding United States Trade Policy Forum. India-USA Trade Policy Forum. The 14th ministerial level meeting of the United States-India Trade Policy Forum was held recently. The ministers from both the sides agreed to establish joint facilitative mechanism (JFM) to mitigate non-tariff barriers, which would eliminate duplicative testing requirements and reduce compliance cost for trade in high-quality goods. But just see, eliminate duplicative testing requirement, because once tested in India, so depending another testing in there, so duplication, and reduce compliance cost for trading high-quality goods. US is India's top export market for shrimp. In this context, both the ministry welcome the finalization of the Total Excluder Device (TED) design developed with technical support of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration of USA, because through this the fish will be trapped in the net but not the turtle. TED is an effective device in minimizing the impact of fishing on the sea turtle population and would foster enhanced seafood trade between the two countries, because Indian fishermen, the trawlers, don't use this turtle excluder device, for which so large number of turtles are killed. That led to imposing sanction on India. India also emphasized the need to increase the number of inspections by the US Food and Drug Administration in India to reach the pre-pandemic level. US is India's top export market for pharma products. The Indian side reiterated India's interest in restoration of its beneficiary status under the US Generalized System of Preferences Program. India-United States Trade Policy Forum, it is an arrangement between the two governments to discuss trade and investment issues established in 2005. The Trade Policy Forum is co-chaired by the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and the United States Trade Representative. The issue and concerns are discussed under 5 focus groups. So the dialogue addresses a wide range of issues that will lead to initiative in key sectors and create momentum for expanding bilateral trade. A private sector advisory group was formed in 2007 as an adjunct to the Trade Policy Forum to provide the Trade Policy Forum with views and advice from non-government trade and investment experts. Because apart from the government, through this mechanism, they want to involve the other sectors, with the private sectors and other individuals who are interested or who have dynamic role in this domain. They also can participate. India and US trade and economic relations. In 2023 financial year, the bilateral trade between India and USA stood at record 128.78 billion as against 119.48 billion the previous year. So in financial 2023, India has a trade surplus of 28.30 billion with US. That means we exported more than we imported from USA. This is a good sign, because our export is more than our import, which is normally a very good sign on Indian trade domain. During 2022-23, the US was the third largest source of FDI into India. So third largest source of FDI to India. So it is USA, which is the third largest FDI investor in India. India and US trade is likely to touch $300 billion by 2026-27. So this has been on the rising spree, and the projection by both the sides is, so this will increase to $300 billion by 26-27. Dialogue mechanism, India-US Trade Policy Forum, the TPF. India-USA Commercial Dialogue focuses on cooperation in standards, ease of doing business, travel and tourism, and other important issues of commercial significance. So here, both the sides deal with travel, tourism, ease of doing business, and other. Areas. The India-USA CEO Forum established in 2005. The forum meets on sideline of the commercial dialogue and submits recommendation to the commercial dialogue. Commercial dialogue is the first mechanism, and the CEO Forum is a adjunct to that, and it provides its report, submit recommendation to the commercial dialogue. Information and communication technology. A joint working group on information and communication technology was established in 2005 to bring together government and industry from both the sides to discuss cooperation in the electronic and IT sector. So here the objective was to bring the person from both the sides to discuss about the electronic and IT sector between the two sides. India-US Economic and Financial Partnership Dialogue. It is led by Finance Minister and the US Secretary of Treasury, the India-US Economic and Financial Partnership Dialogue, in which the Finance Minister and the US Secretary of Treasury participate. The Finance Minister of India and the US Secretary of Treasury. Indo-Pacific Economic Framework. So India joined the things. So Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, India joined the launch of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework in 2022 along with 13 partner countries. India joined 3 of the 4 pillars of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework related to supply chain, tax and anti-corruption and clean energy. India joined these. Then so in conclusion, it can be said the evolving relationship between India and the United States holds significant importance in shaping the global order of the 21st century. To fully unlock the potential of this partnership, both governments must focus on reducing bilateral and multilateral bottlenecks and charting a course for the comprehensive and strategic global alliance. So although this mechanism has worked out, but this need to be properly so both the sides can get more benefit from this. Then the next is the growth in the lentil production in India. So India's Mosul, which is a pulse, it comes from the pulses. Lentil production is estimated to touch an all-time high of 1.6 million tons in 23-24. The total mushroom acreage has increased to 1.94 million hectares in the ongoing Rabi season, and compared to 1.83 the total mushroom acreage has increased because India is a country where a huge amount of pulses are consumed. Despite so the total mushroom acreage is increased to 1.94 million hectare in the ongoing Rabi season when compared to 1.83 million hectare in the 1 year back. Despite being the world's largest producer and consumer of pulses, India imports certain pulses including masoor and tur to meet domestic shortage because Indian pulses being a compulsory item in many of Indian families, so people purchase it. Okay, production of pulses in India. India is the largest producer, 25% of global production, consumer 27% of total consumption, and importer 14% of the pulse in the world. So it is the largest producer, 25% produced in India alone. It is the largest consumer, 27% of pulses consumer in the world are consumed in India, and importer 14% of the pulses consumed in India are imported from outside. That means, so this is the demand for pulses in India. Pulses account for around 20% of the area under food grain and contribute around 7 to 10% of the total food grains production in the country. This is the status of pulses production in India. Okay. So, though pulses are grown in both Kharif and Rabi season, Rabi pulses contribute more than 60% of the total production. Gram is the most dominant pulse, having a share of around 40% of the total production, followed by tur or ahar 15-20%, and urad, black, matfe, and mung at around 8 to 10% each. The main regions which high productivity are Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Delta region, coastal Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, coastal and eastern Karnataka, some parts of Maharashtra are the major area of production of pulses in the country. Region for low production in India, although so much of area is diverted for pulses in India, but the productivity of Indian pulses is very less. So, per acreage production in India is comparatively much less in comparison to the same production in other countries. Okay. So, region for low production, low productivity, pulses have traditionally been a neglected crop because of the instability of its yield. There is no stability in the crop yield, so there is instability in the crop yield. That is why, so crop production remain low in India. Residual crop pulses in India are considered residual crop and grown under rainfed condition in marginal, less fertile lands with very little focus on pest and nutrition management. So, in case of pest and nutrition management, the pulses sector is not given that importance like the food grains. Okay, or the staple cereals, etc. Okay, with the advent of the green revolution, which promoted rice and wheat using external input and modern varieties of seeds, pulses were pushed to the marginal land, which resulted in decline in productivity and land degradation. Lack of technological advances. There has been no technology breakthrough in any of the pulse crop. So technology has not been used like the other area. Okay, less beneficial. Farmers perceive pulse as having a lower cost benefit ratio vis-a-vis other crops like the wheat and rice. So, in comparison to wheat and rice, the production of pulses is comparatively less. So that is why farmers don't put much emphasis on the production of pulses in India. Okay. Then penetration and adoption of high yielding variety seeds are very slow or very low in case of the pulses. Post-harvest losses. There are post-harvest losses during storage due to excessive moisture attacked by the storage grain pest, especially the pulse beetle. Okay, they normally lead to a lot of wastage of the storage pulse even after its harvesting. Okay. Then so measure taken by the government to increase production. So what are the steps taken by the government to increase the production of pulses? National Food Security Mission, the department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare is implementing the National Food Security Mission policies with the objective of increasing production through area expansion and productivity enhancement in all the districts. Two approach. One is bringing more area under production, and second is enhancing productivity through using technology and superior seed, etc. That is also being taken care of by the under the National Food Security Mission policies. Okay, research and development. In order to increase the productivity potential of the pulses crop in the country, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research is undertaking basic and strategic research on these. On these crops and applied research in collaboration with state agriculture universities for developing location-specific high-yielding variety of crops. Okay, this is being done by the government. So, government is emphasizing on how to increase the productivity of pulses in the country, and this particular mission emphasize on how to increase the productivity of pulses. Okay. Then PM-ASA, to ensure remunerative price to farmers, government implements an umbrella scheme called the PM-ASA, comprising price support scheme, price deficiency payment scheme, and private procurement stockist scheme in order to ensure minimum support price to farmer for their produce of notified oilseed pulses and copra. Integrated scheme for oilseed pulses, oil palm and maize was launched in 14 major pulse growing states. Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana was launched, under which state can undertake pulse development program. These are the programs launched by the government to increase the productivity of the pulses in the country. The LIDAR, a huge city hidden by the luxuriant vegetation of the Amazon rainforest, recently discovered in Ecuador by a LIDAR survey. What is LIDAR? LIDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, is a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of a pulse laser to measure ranges variable distance to the earth. These light pulses, combined with other data recorded by the airborne system, so these light pulses, combined with other data recorded by the airborne system, generate precise three-dimensional information about the shape of the earth and its surface characteristics. So, which is used in advantages of the LIDAR. A LIDAR instrument principally consists of a laser, a scanner, and a specialized GPS receiver. Aeroplanes and helicopters are the most commonly used platform for acquiring LIDAR data over broad areas. Okay. So normally aeroplanes and these helicopters. A LiDAR system calculates how long it takes for beams of light to hit an object or surface and reflect back to the laser scanner. This is how the LiDAR works. Okay, the distance is then calculated using the velocity of light. These are known as the time of flight measurement. Two types of LiDARs are topographic and bathymetric. Topographic LiDAR typically uses a near infrared laser to map the land, while bathymetric LiDAR uses water penetrating green light to also measure seafloor and riverbed elevations. LiDAR system allow scientists and mapping professionals to examine both natural and man-made environment with accuracy, precision and flexibility. What they facilitate, so it helps the mapping professionals to examine both natural and man-made environment with accuracy, precision and flexibility. It is used in a wide range of land management and planning efforts, including hazards assessment, including lava flows, landslides, tsunami and floods, forestry, agriculture, geologic mapping and watershed and river surveys. What is the difference between the radar and LiDAR? LiDAR works in a similar way to radar and sonar, yet uses light waves from a laser instead of radio or sound waves. Then the Bhatnagar multi-institution study found India's oldest living city in the Bhatnagar of Gujarat. Oldest city of India is in Bhatnagar of Gujarat. It was a multicultural and a multi-religious Buddhist, Hindu, Jain and Islamic settlement, currently located in the Mehsana district of North Gujarat of India. Okay, it is known by names like the Vidyanagar, Anandapur and Anantapura and Nagar. Okay. It is an L-shaped town with that Sarmista Lake on its northeastern edge. It is the L-shaped. Its size, its location or geographical location is in the L-shape. The town represents a continuously evolving historic urban landscape area which played a major role in the hinterland trade network and coastal India. One heritage site, Bhatnagar, was added to the tentative list in December 2022, but has not yet been finalized, but it has been added in the tentative heritage list by the request of the Government of India. More on news. Bhatnagar town is a multi-layered multicultural mercantile settlement with its history stretching back to nearly the 8th century BC. Explorations and excavation. Hello. Okay, so explorations.
Sir, January 26 तो अपना क्लास में देंगे तो?
Explorations and excavations shows evidence of a human settlement that is contemporary to late Vedic and pre-Buddhist Mahajanapadas or oligarchic republics. The earliest archaeological record is the rock inscription of Emperor Ashoka during the Mauryan period at Sudarsana Lake, the Girnar Hill in Gujarat. Okay, so exploration excavation shows evidence of a human settlement that is contemporary to late Vedic or pre-Buddhist Mahajanapadas or oligarchic republics. The earliest archaeological record is the rock inscription of Emperor Asoka during the Mauryan period 322 and 180 BCE at Sudarsana Lake, Girnar Hill in Gujarat. A joint study by the IIT Kharagpur was found evidence of cultural continuity in Bhadnagar even after the collapse of the Indus Valley civilization, thus making it likely that the Dark Age was a myth. The period between the collapse of the Indus Valley civilization and the emergence of the Iron Age and cities like Gandhar, Kosra and Abanti is often depicted as the Dark Age by the archaeologists, but by this evidence prove that this is a misconception. Excavation revealed the presence of 7 cultural stages, namely the Mauryan, Indo-Greek, Indo-Scythian or Saka Khatrapach, then empires, Hindu Solankis, Sultanate Mughal and the Gaikwad British colonial rule. Okay, that means continuation was there. India's first dark sky park, the Pench Tiger Reserve in Maharashtra, has been designated as India's first dark sky park and the 5th in Asia, protecting the night sky and preventing light pollution at night. The Pench Tiger Reserve in Maharashtra is India's first dark sky park within a tiger reserve for earmarking areas around the park that restrict light pollution for stargazers to access pristine dark skies. Dark Sky Place certification focus on lighting policy, dark sky friendly retrofits, outreach and education, and monitoring the night sky. This designation positions the Pench Tiger Reserve as a sanctuary where tourists can witness celestial spectacles shielded from the intrusion of artificial light pollution, because no artificial light will be allowed in this during the night. So they can observe the sky, okay, uninterrupted without being affected by any light flow of light or any evidence of light. Okay. That Pench Tiger Reserve became the 5th such park in Asia. The certification was given by the International Dark Sky Association, a global dark sky movement to promote astronomy. Key facts about the about this Pench Tiger Reserve. The reserve is located in the southern reaches of the Satpura Hills in the Soini and Chitrawara districts in the Madhya Pradesh, and continued in Nagpur district in Maharashtra as a separate sanctuary. This is the extent of this sanctuary, named after the Pench River, which flows from north to south through the reserve. It comprises the Indira Priyadarshini Pench National Park, the Pench Mogwali Sanctuary, and a buffer. The area of the Pench Tiger Reserve and the surrounding area is the real story area of the Rudyard Kipling famous The Jungle Book. Terrain, it is undulating with most of the area covered by small hills and steep slopes on the sides. Vegetation, the undulating topography, okay. The undulating topography supports a mosaic of vegetation ranging from a moist sheltered valley to an open dry deciduous forest. Flora, the reserve boasts a diverse range of flora including teak, sag, moa and various grasses and shrubs. The area is especially famous for the large herds of chital, sambar, nilgai, gaur, Indian bison and wild boar. The key predator is the tiger, followed by leopard, wild dogs and wolf. There are 325 species of resident and migratory birds, including the Malabar pied hornbill, Indian pitta, osprey, grey-headed fishing eagle, white-eyed buzzard, etc., which are also located in this particular Pench Tiger Reserve. Okay, next topic is a mobility issue called the Prime Minister's e-bus Seva scheme. The Indian Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry recently said that the ministry has floated tender for procuring buses under the PM e-bus Seva scheme. Under the PM e-bus Seva scheme, 10,000 e-buses, which electric buses, will be deployed across cities in the country. Okay, so under the PM e-bus Seva scheme, 10,000 e-buses will be deployed across the cities in the country. The scheme was introduced to give a push to the slow adoption of e-bus in public transport, because private bus owners are not adopting this e-bus. So government itself decided to launch this particular e-bus services. The scheme was introduced to give a push to the slow adoption of e-bus in public transport. Support for the operation on this scheme, city bus operation will be done on a public-private partnership model (PPP) mode. The scheme will support bus operation for 10 years. City and states and cities shall be responsible for running the bus service and making payment to the bus operators. Okay, so here the state government will take the responsibility of running these buses. It will run on the public-private partnership mode. The central government will support this bus operation by providing subsidy to the extent specified in the proposed scheme. Central government responsibility is to provide the specific support for this scheme to run these buses. Then allocated a total funding of 57,000. Okay. 57,613 crore. Out of this financial provision, the central government will contribute 20,000 crore. The central government will contribute 20,000 crore, while the remaining portion will be covered by the state government. Coverage, it will cover cities with a population of 3 lakhs and above, and will include all the capital cities of the Union Territories, Northeastern region and the hill states. There are two segments of the scheme: augmenting the city bus service and associated infrastructure, and green urban mobility initiative. Okay, so there are two segments of the scheme: augmenting the city bus service and associated infrastructure, and green urban mobility initiative. Okay, it will cover cities with a population of 3 lakhs and above, and will include all the capital city of the Union Territory, Northeastern region and hill states. Okay, so this is a scheme which will be offering entire India will be under the cover of the e-bus services. Augmenting the city bus service and associated infrastructure, under this segment, the scheme will augment city electric Okay, so augment city electric bus operation by extending central assistance for 10,000 electric bus operation on public-private partnership model. Bus depots and behind the meter power infrastructure will be done by the developed in the under the particular scheme. Green urban mobility initiative. Okay, under this segment, the scheme will support the implementation of the GUMI project. So, GUMI project stands for Green Urban Mobility Initiative. Fine. Completing a project for complementing bus services and demonstrating a reduction in greenhouse gas emission in urban areas. The segment will include support for implementing the National Common Mobility Card based automatic fare collection system, bus priority infrastructure, etc. Then the Himalayan wolf. A Himalayan wolf has been assessed for the first time in the International Union for Conservation of Nature red list and categorized vulnerable. For the first time, it has been categorized as vulnerable. The Himalayan wolf, Canny-Luff Chanko, a prominent lupine predator found across the Himalayas. It is also called the Tibetan wolf, which lives at a more than 4,000 meter altitude and is genetically distinct from grey wolves. Living at such high altitude, these wolves have genetically adapted themselves to live in low oxygen or hypoxic condition, as it is called. Distribution in China. The Himalayan wolf lives in the Tibetan Plateau in the province of Gansu, Qinghai, Tibet, and the western Siwan province. In northern India, it occurs in the Union Territory of Ladakh and in the Lahul and Spiti regions in northeastern Himalaya, Himachal Pradesh. Okay, they are normally located. So, conservation status, IUCN International Union for Conservation Nature, branded as vulnerable. Okay, CITES Appendix 1, Wildlife Protection Act 72 Schedule 1, threat is illegally hunted. It is illegally hunted for trade for its fur and body parts, including paws, tongues, heads, and other parts. Measures to be taken to enhance the protection of the Himalayan wolves, securing and restoring healthy wild prey population and landscape and setting aside wildlife habitat refugee, improving livestock guarding methods such as predator-proof corals, coral pens, and using sustainable livestock herding practices. Management of the feral dog populations, transboundary effort in conservation of the species in rare range countries through research and monitoring by the countries in whose range these wild wolves are normally found. So, all these will facilitate in preserving these wild animals. Then come to the question. What do we understand by critical information infrastructure and why it is important to secure it? Discuss existing infrastructural and legislative framework in India to guard against cyber threat. The Information Technology Act 2000 defines critical information infrastructure as a computer resource, the incapacitation or destruction of which shall have a debilitating impact on national security, economy, public health, or safety. The government under the Act the government under the Act has the power to declare any data database, IT network, or communication infrastructure as critical information infrastructure to protect the digital asset. Need to secure critical information infrastructure. So, multiplier effects of disruption, IT resources from the backbone of the country, countless critical operations in a country's infrastructure, and given their interconnectedness, disruption can have a cascading effect across the sector. That is why, so this is to be protected. Okay, so multiplier effect of disruption. IT resources form the backbone of the country's critical operations in a country. Infrastructure, and given their interconnectedness, disruption can have a cascading effect across the sector. For example, failure at a major power grid can lead to prolonged outage, crippling crippling other sector like the healthcare, banking services, etc. Security of the nation. So, as an attack on the critical information infrastructure can undermine security of a nation by disrupting critical services dependent on access to information infrastructure, like the police network, the security network. They all depends upon the critical information network, and if it is affected, so the entire system will be coming under the strain. For example, the Stonex computer virus disrupted the Iranian nuclear program by damaging centrifuges used to separate nuclear material. To prevent cyber attack and economic loss, in recent years, cyber attacks on the CIA of banks, hospitals, nuclear power plant, IIT have increased. In October 2022, due to a China-linked cyber attack, the electric grid supply to Mumbai suddenly broke down, hitting the mega city hospitals, trains and business. Institutional and legislative framework in India to guard against cyber threats. National Cyber Security Policy 2013. The goal of this policy is to guarantee safe and reliable cyberspace for individuals, organizations and the government. Computer emergency response. Okay, so computer emergency response team, it operates as an automated cyber threat. It operates as an automated cyber threat exchange platform to proactively collect, analyze and share tailored alerts with organizations across sectors for proactive threat mitigation actions by them. In case of any threat, this CERTIN, okay, the computer emergency response team, they respond proactively. The National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, it is a nodal agency for tackling all measures to protect the nation's critical information infrastructure. This has been created by the government. National Cyber Coordination Center, it generates necessary situational awareness of existing and potential cyber security threats and enable timely information sharing for proactive, preventive and protective action by the individual entities. Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, it I4C, it provides a framework and ecosystem for law enforcement agencies for dealing with cyber crimes in a coordinated and comprehensive manner. In conclusion, it can be said, in order to deal with challenges related to cyber security, a division has been established under the Ministry of Home Affairs to deal with cyber and information security. But apart from these, a comprehensive cyber security strategy is need of our to deal with emerging challenges related to it. Then coming to the MCQs. Consider the following protected area: the Nagarhole National Park, the Satya Mangalam Tiger Reserve, the Wildlife Sanctuary. How many of the above protected area are located in the Kaveri Basin? So, All the three are located in the Kaveri basin. Right to reside is provided under which article? With Article 19, right to residence. Move freely through the territory of India and reside at any part of the country is under Article 19. Consider the following sphere areas: construction of base road, improvement of the agricultural soil, production of the cement. Steel slag can be used as a raw material in how many of the aforesaid operations? So, in all the three, steel slags can be used. Okay. The Bhogli view is Assam, Uttarayan, Gujarat. Then the Makar view in Odisha. So here only 2 are correct, 3 is incorrect. Okay. Then vulture which used. Vulture which used to be very common in Indian countryside. Summer jaguar rarely seen nowadays. This is primarily attributed to destruction of their it is the diclofenac drug used by cattle owners for treating their diseased cattle lead to the death, and when the vultures consumed them, they died. This is the major reason for the extinction of this vultures is the diclofenac drug used for the treating the diseased cattle. Which of the following protected area has become India's first dark sky reserve? The Pench Tiger Reserve is the first one in India and the 5th in Asia. It is the second largest mangrove forest in India after Sundarban. Okay. Sundarban, Bengal. It is the breeding place for the endangered saltwater crocodile, which are the prime attraction of the sanctuary. The sanctuary lies in the estuary regions of Brahmani, Baitarani, with the Bay of Bengal lying in the east. It is the Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary. Consider the following statement with reference to the millets. They are a group of cereals grain that belong to the Passia family. Finger millet boasts the highest calcium content of the cereal grains. They are a gluten-free grain, making them a viable choice for the people with celiac disease. So here all the three are correct, so none of is incorrect. Consider the following statement with reference to the Uniform Civil Code. It refers to a common set of law on marriage, divorce and inheritance that would be more applicable to all Indian citizens. That is right. So Article 44 of the Constitution contains the provision related to the Uniform Civil Code. Here both 1 and 2 are correct. Consider the following statement regarding the prehistoric dancing girl sculpture. The dancing girl figurine was discovered in the Mohenjo-daro after the India's independence. The sculpture was made in lost wax casting method. Even though Mohenjo-daro and Harappa became part of Pakistan territory after the partition, the dancing girl remained in India as per the agreement. Here only 2 are correct, and only 2 of this 1 and 3 are correct. 2 each 1 and 3 are correct. 2 is incorrect. So thank you for watching. Keep watching regularly.